It's 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 time to start the show.
Yeah, it's time to start the show.
Yep. It's time to start the show. So, all right. Let's do this. How are you?
I'm doing
It's a
great.
good
How you
weekend.
doing?
Can you pop me one of those?
Of course.
Yeah, come on. I'm sitting over here dry. Sitting over here twiddling my thumbs.
I wouldn't want you to sit there and nurse a beer. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna nurse. There will be no nursing on this episode.
Okay.
This
All
might
right.
be the first episode where we actually drink. I've been wanting to do this for a while.
You've been drinking?
I mean, not on camera, no.
Oh,
Not really.
endorsed by Stella.
Yo, Stella might have a
You're about to get pulled down for a copyright infringement.
Stella might be a girl's name, but
Nice. Cheers, buddy.
it's a man's beer.
There we go.
It's a man's beer.
Oh, it's almost like practice then.
I like Stella is one of my favorites. I like this in
This one's
land.
pretty good.
I like land shark.
Land shark's not bad
Land
either. I've
shark's
had
not
that.
bad.
Yeah, I had that in Asia a couple of times. It's pretty good.
It's very carbonated though. Like if I drink it too fast, I'll just throw up because of all the bubbles.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that problem? Oh, this
I haven't
beverage
run
is,
into that.
this beverage is too bubbly. Can
I
we turn
haven't.
down the bubbles? Can we turn down the carbonation?
You gotta call them about that. Get that fixed up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Small and Tall podcast. Today, we are in a different location, if you're not able to tell. Before we go on, everybody, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, comment down below, share this video with your friends, because this is going to be a doozy.
Don't do any of that.
Yeah. We're going to have, like, a really good montage of just, like, best moments from, well, who are you?
Oh, my name is John Brosnan.
John Brosnan. We're going with first and last name.
Right.
Should they follow you on Instagram?
No, don't do
No,
that.
don't follow him. Don't.
Nobody watch this.
No, it's got nothing to.
Nobody watch this. I have a corporate job and I don't want to get fired, okay?
Listen. You don't need to tell nobody to watch because nobody watches.
Oh,
anyway.
perfect. Win-win.
Well, I mean, hopefully when this episode comes out, let's say this episode is, let's shoot for 28. I'm uploading 25 in a couple days. Let's say this is 28.
Okay.
Maybe 30.
All right.
Episode 30.
Even better.
Episode 30, bro.
Episode 35.
Episode 35. Episode 135.
Episode 5,000.
Oh my god.
Hopefully I'm dead by the time this comes out.
Are you really good?
Hopefully it's so long that I look back and go, damn, I was in shape back then. Look at all that great hair.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, we were just looking at your old pictures on the social media.
Yeah, I catfished my girlfriend.
Yeah. What went wrong?
It was a steady amount of genetics, beer, and Cheez-Its. This is what did this to me.
Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Damn.
I put on the weight in the face.
Oh really? Yeah,
yeah.
because Cheez-Its got all those different fats.
When I say Cheez-It, I just mean general food.
Oh.
Pretzels, chips, all that bullshit, man.
Chips Ahoy.
Oh yeah, eat enough of that crap over the years. It's gonna kill you.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah, man. You know.
I was attractive at one point in time. This is a long time ago, though.
Everything in moderation,
Yeah,
right?
except beer.
Except beer.
And tequila.
Hey, dude, beer. It's liquid bread. It's good for you, man.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Definitely accurate.
It's my birthday.
I know.
Being 21 is amazing.
Oh, cheers, buddy. To your first beer.
Right? Hopefully my last. Dude, they say some people, they drink their first beer like real alcoholics. They drink the liquor, the beer touches their lips, and they're immediately hooked. Do you
Yeah.
believe that?
Yeah, that happened to me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Your first beer, you were like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like you didn't need no sales pitch.
No.
No. Just
First beer, I was in. I was
First
like,
beer.
this is amazing.
When would you have your first beer? Do you
5?
remember? Do you remember like your first beer? This is my first beer.
My first. Yeah, that one an hour ago didn't count either, huh? The first time I had a drink, I was 5.
Oh. Were your parents one of those? He won't.
That was my grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Yeah. So my grandfather, he was a longshoreman.
Okay.
He was
a longshoreman.
Longshoreman. So like what happened
Longshoreman.
down in New York City, they had guys when the boats came over, they don't load the docks.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of those guys actually unloaded the docks back for all the equipment and the cranes and all that stuff, right? So his whole deal, he was doing that for a long, long time. and he hates bananas because bananas are heavy. He hates bananas. Can't stand them. He goes, I love the taste, but I still hate bananas. Screw bananas. I'm not touching the banana again, right?
Dude, aren't we like this close to like not having bananas anymore?
Hopefully, for him, right? That's the way he looks at it. He's like,
For his
forget
health.
bananas. Screw
For his
bananas.
health.
So basically, his whole thing was, he's actually from Ireland. He's off the boat, right? Like my grandmother.
Fresh off the boat.
Yeah, they're fresh off the boat. My dad was born here, and now I was born here too, right? But he's from Ireland, so he's got like the old school Irish mentality. So when I was 5, we were over at his house, and he'd like just retired like a couple years earlier. So he's like hanging out, he's having a glass of whiskey, and he's got like a thick Irish accent. Like he had no idea what the hell he's talking about. I didn't know what he was saying until I was 18, and then I only started grasping parts of it. Like he's got like the thickest accent you've ever heard. Like he's sitting there and he goes, "How are you doing, Sonny?" That's a real thing that he says.
How is it?
Yeah, he's saying, "How are you doing, Sonny? How are you doing, Sonny?"
How are you?
And I'm just like, okay. And
I'm
my dad,
good, Pop.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, Dad, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. And he's looking at me and he's like, you can't understand that? I'm like, how are you doing, Sonny? I'm like, that's not English. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm like, because he actually grew up speaking Gaelic. So yeah, that's the Irish language. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So, and then he learned English later. So so I had my first drink when I was 5. It was whiskey, and I was like, I thought it was apple juice that my grandfather was drinking.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, apple juice, I want some of that.
So you were 5 years old and you made your way over and you were just like, I'm thirsty. What is that? I want it in here.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, when you're 5, that's kind of what you want, right? You're
that's
like,
true.
I'm slightly cranky, and that thing looks like it's loaded with sugar, and it's going to make me feel good. So let's do it, baby. And it was, I thought it was apple juice. It turns out that it was not. It was Crown Royal. So
I still
those
remember
don't
to
taste the
this
same.
day.
Yeah, they don't taste the same. So I had a drink of that, and then like the typical 5-year-old, like, oh my God, But by the time I was 6, I was into it,
Nice. Were your parents supportive about your early alcoholism?
Oh my God, no.
No.
No, I didn't really start drinking until I was about 17.
17?
17. Yeah, I was a senior in high school when I started. hitting
Really
the
started
bottle.
going in?
Yeah, that's when we started having fun. Like you'd have like the beer
Yeah.
before that. Like your parents like you have like a sip or something like that. It was all good, but
At like a
not really.
restaurant?
Not a restaurant, no.
No?
My parents were like, "What the hell?"
Oh, can I have some wine?
Yeah, no. Oh, my parents don't drink wine. My dad's an old school New York City detective. That's not how.
What is he, old fashioned?
Oh, yeah. He's a beer guy.
Beer
He's
guy?
mostly a beer guy. Yeah.
Does he like the
little bit of whiskey.
IPAs? The hoppies and the
He
hops?
Coors Light.
Coors Light?
Coors Light, Miller's Genuine Draft. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Is it Coors Light or Miller's Light where they're like cheers to the original social media and it's like people playing pool at a bar?
Oh, I don't know about their commercials. Yeah.
You don't watch TV.
I guess I gotta go check up on beer commercials.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, take a look. I think they have a beer. I think Heineken's got a no beer, no alcohol beer.
Oh, I saw the commercial for that one.
Yeah.
That sucked.
What do you think about that?
Actually, the commercial was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
Would you drink a no alcohol beer? Like, do you like the taste that much that you're like, I want this even without the liquor?
no one likes the taste.
That's so. Why would they release that?
So, you're talking to the wrong guy.
Okay.
Talking to the wrong guy.
I mean, you're a businessman,
Yeah, but
So-
I
so
mean,
that's
I
a
understand the
business move,
business
that's a
reason
business
why, but
practice.
sometimes there's ethics that should be involved. Okay, if there's
Okay.
no alcohol in the beer, don't do it.
Don't do-
Old Duels does it. That's it. You drink Old Duels. That's it. Right.
Nice. You know me, I'm one of those people who is always like, stay on the neon path. I'm always like, stay on.
That yellow brick road.
Yeah, stay on the yellow brick road. Don't do anything out of the ordinary. Don't. I like my safe space, and I want to stick down it.
You're a safe space guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
I'm a big safe space guy too. I love safe spaces.
Yeah. Wayfair, you got just what we need. My safe space just got what I need. That's kind of how I think about it.
All right.
Gas prices are so cheap today.
Yeah.
How much longer is that going to be for?
Until the presidential election's over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who are you voting for?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna answer that on camera.
You see,
We don't have nominees yet. We don't have
Okay.
nominees.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited to see Trump take on literally anybody.
Oh, it's gonna be a show. Yeah,
dude.
Forget this podcast.
Yeah, forget this podcast.
Just turn on the news, man.
Yeah, just watch the news, dude.
Yeah.
I used to never really watch the debates, but when it was Trump versus Hillary, dude, I was glued. These news aggregate companies, CNN, NBC, Fox News, ABC, are gonna just be reeking in ad dollars with these debates.
Oh yeah, it becomes.
It's a good time to invest.
There's a lot of people watching those.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What do you think? What do you think about the market right now? As we're filming this on January 25th, the market is just doing incredibly well. Right now, there's that Chinese flu. What's it called?
The coronavirus.
The corona.
Oh, damn, we should have had coronas out here.
My coronavirus.
Interesting take on my Sharona.
Ooh, you make the patients run. The patients run right into the ER in China. Can't house anymore. Yeah, China totally just closed that one city. You're not allowed in or out.
Yeah.
10 million people live there.
That's kind of an interesting policy.
You're trapped.
Because China's interesting in general with that. Like, I feel like America's a little bit more. They don't want to cause panic, like a general panic kind of thing.
I feel like
they're like it's okay, we'll figure it out. China's like nobody leaves. They're like you're in that. It's this block to this block and this block to that block, right? If you're inside of that, you ain't going nowhere, right? It's just kind of like, oh, I guess that's what you can do if it's that kind of country. Yeah.
Oh
they just
God.
cordon it off, and they're like, "That's it. Sorry, sucks to suck." You know what it reminds me of? Those Resident Evil movies. Remember that, like Raccoon City, and then like what they do is all of a sudden they just put up the borders, and if you're in there, you're in there. You know what I mean?
Dome the city off, man.
Yeah, but I guess like it seems harsh, but in reality,
and
it's gonna work.
It's all just because the virus just jumped from an animal to a human. They say it's coming from a cow. Came from some type of beef. And honestly, those Chinese meat markets over there are so unsanitary. It's crazy how, just like in California, the amount of homeless people just pissing and shitting on the street, having a great grand old time. They're enjoying it. But I'm surprised there hasn't been an outbreak sooner. And I feel like all it's going to take is just one fella going to San Francisco or LA. They thought there was one in Washington State. Besides the never-ending pandemic of the coronavirus, let's we're drinking Stellas, we're not drinking Coronas, so let's just sit back, relax. Let's not talk about how the world is inevitably ending.
Yeah, who cares?
Doom is right around the corner. Might as well live some, gang some. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have a good time, man.
Get a little yummy in my tummy.
That I don't support.
Yeah. I'm just, a young, hungry filmmaker out in the world trying to make art and make my way. A starving artist, as they say.
Look at this guy with his collared shirt, his collared flannel.
See, I have a shirt under the shirt that I wanted to show.
Everybody wants to see that. Come on.
Yeah, so, here's the thing with this shirt. I like this undershirt. Ooh, are you making the mixed drinks now?
Yeah, we're just not moving to that.
Yes, please. As I explain my shirt. See, it's got this big graphic right here that says "Be wild" and
in the most tame way possible.
Yeah,
yes.
in the most PG-13 way. And I kind of saw that, and I wasn't really about it because I was like, "Damn, that's like a big logo." But then I saw the sleeves, and I was like, "Hold on."
Oh, it's got sleeves. Oh, Jesus.
I was like, "Hold on." The sleeves. Look at this.
Oh my God, checkers.
It has these checkered sleeves.
Wow.
And I was like, I need that shirt. This should be the thumbnail. Like Josh checks off John Browse and checks off
Sounds rather intimate, honestly. Yeah. We should probably name it something else.
I think you can kind of use the verb checks off for really anything. You know what I mean?
I disagree. But anyway, I see where you're going. I just wouldn't do it. Yeah. All right.
Someone walks into your party and is like, who brought that guy? Who brought that guy? And be like, nah, dude. Louis said he checks off. No, checks off. Yeah, dude, he checks off. All right, let him in. Checks off. You know what I mean? Ugh. Or if you're really pissed at someone, you just go, hey, next time you do that, check off. Check off out of here. Oh. Yeah, you can use it in an endearing term, or I'll check you up next time. I'll check up on you next time. Do that again, I'll check up on you. Oh. And then we'll be checking off, together, just me and you.
Okay. That's a unique perspective on the word check. That's how you use check in every sense of the word check.
Yeah, right. But so you're very much business oriented, and I'm very much. Yeah. So are you in the numbers? You in the sales? What's
Yeah, I'm a sales guy. So I've held a couple of different corporate positions, right? Typically, I shouldn't say typically, I guess. Historically, I've been in enablement roles.
Okay.
Right, which basically means that you fix background applications. You're probably going to want to stir that, honestly.
Yeah, it seems like you put a lot in there.
Yeah, I gave you the light one.
Okay. Good, the more the merrier. Because you're doing close to $1 million deals sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's a lot of
my
bread.
account last year did, I think, $450 million.
$450 million.
Yeah, we did $450 million last year.
That could probably fill this room in quarters.
Yeah, the room's not that big. Yeah,
right.
It does have high ceilings, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
$450 million in quarters. Yeah, you can probably do it in $1 bills too. Yeah.
$1
million takes up a decent amount of space. But yeah, no, a lot of it's based on trust and making sure that people agree with you. Because typically when you sell something to large corporations, and I support a large corporation, which I'm not going to name.
I like Apple. That's why I have all of my Apple products.
Yeah, you trust them as an organization.
Yeah.
Right?
I know when I buy something from Apple, it's going to work. It's going to work right. It's going to work well.
It's reputation. And reputation's effectively trust.
It might be a little pricey, but I'm willing to pay the troll toll to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're one of the most successful people at their brand. It's incredible to see what they've done. Yeah.
We know each other because of my brother.
Yes.
You guys used to work together.
Yeah, me and Dan both used to work yeah, he still works there right now.
He still works there, yeah.
I used to work at a company called Juniper Networks, yeah.
Juniper Networks.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was a good experience.
It was a good experience?
Yeah.
How old were you when you first started there with Dan? Are you the same age as Dan, or are you a couple
about
years?
a year older than him.
A year older than him?
Yeah. My hairline's 40 years older than him, but we'll get there.
You've been around the earth one more time than him, but...
yeah, we've been around the sun one more time.
Yeah, but it seems like in adulthood, man, you're playing your cards.
Yeah.
You got an ace up your sleeve, and you're not afraid to use it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a fair assessment, Josh. Good job.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially when you're coming out of school and everything, it makes sense to look at things financially.
Yeah.
Right? I'll be...
And you're really making some moves now.
Yeah, I did I bought a house and a couple other things. But I'm not gonna pretend that I'm like this guy that knew everything in advance. I mean, 50% of it's luck.
Yeah.
Right, and then when you're given an opportunity, like I was given an opportunity when I was probably 22, I think is when I started at Juniper. You get given an opportunity, and then things happen, and the important thing is that you take advantage of those.
Yeah, it's all about that first opportunity of getting your foot in the door. Someone takes a chance on you, and you don't disappoint.
Yeah.
And then you're in.
You want to have a little bit of fun at the same time.
Yeah.
But you got to you just do your work, do a good job, and see where life takes you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good perspective on it, man.
Yeah. You try and make a couple bucks while you're at it, and hopefully you're good and you kind of understand the game and where dollar values lie and how you can make something real and go from there.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to a college called CUNY Baruch.
CUNY Baruch?
Sure. CUNY Baruch. So City University of New York, Baruch, on 23rd and Lex. And that was the worst experience of my life.
Oh, really? Why so?
I went with the wrong attitude when I went to college. The way that I looked at it was a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was a big party guy, like going to parties and doing stuff like that. And,
I'm a big party guy. I like to party.
Yeah. I figure we kind of air that out if you couldn't tell. Making mixed drinks on camera.
Making mixed drinks.
A tequila drink I invented 3 days ago. I'm like, this is delicious.
This is good tequila.
Yeah.
A little vanilla and
A little vanilla cherry.
Well, I was gonna say like a little like white and red Coke. It's like, oh, Josh, what's wrong with black Coke? You know what I mean?
I'm not touching that.
It's Coke Zero. That's why I don't want to drink the calorie soda. That's why.
Exactly.
And welcome back to the Small and Tall podcast. Now, I don't know how many episodes this is going to be. I might splice it up into 2 because it's all about that continuous stream of content. And a lot of people are saying the hour-long podcasts are too long. Never in my life has anyone complained about something being too long. You know what I mean?
Except the podcast.
Yeah, except the pod. Like, when has too long been an issue? You know, oh, that's too long. Like, when has anyone said, like, oh, this wire is too long? Or that TV show is too long?
I feel like, if we're going to be fair, there's probably only one instance in life where it's not going to be too long.
What?
I think you know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you don't.
Maybe I don't. I'll take that to the bank. I'll invest. But, so, listen. I have some beef with you.
Okay.
In all honesty.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's get in the open, get people to understand what's going on, and they can pick sides.
You know, going on? Instead of your relentless comments about my mother.
Who is a wonderful lady.
Who's a wonderful woman.
To me.
You gave me some of the worst, life advice ever. Now,
sure. Perfectly fair perspective.
Yeah, this is why you will never be my shaman or life coach.
Okay.
Because you told me to buy a car off the internet.
I did.
And let me tell you, buying a car off the internet was this, like, I felt like my hairline was going to be your line.
You got some ways to go, buddy. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Like, listen, I know I did it completely wrong.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to talk about. Yeah.
The whole process was
I told you to do
grueling.
3 things.
You told me to do 3 things, and I did none of them.
Yeah,
So I bought a car off of Carvana, and I'm not afraid to just yell their name out.
No, go ahead. Fuck it.
The stock price might be up right now to staggering probably $90.
They're doing well.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to look it up. How much is the Carvana stock right
In fairness, I also bought a car off Carvana.
And we've had, shockingly, Carvana right now, $83 right now.
What are you looking at, stock prices?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Carvana
gives
stock
a shit?
price. I do. It's down right now. It peaked at 98.
It's down because they knew that you were going to record this. That's why it's down.
It's down because I called them.
You released this. Them. You said that it was going to come out soon.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh my God, it's going to take a dip.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to listen to Josh."
As I called Carvana with the returns department, I said, "This is why you guys always miss your earnings reports."
Oh. I'm sure the customer rep cared about that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm looking back at the earnings history, and I go, you guys never seem to make the mark.
Oh.
And I was like, I think I know why.
So, if you want to talk about Carvana,
ooh la la. I bought my car from a website. Oh nah nah.
Is that the commercial?
No.
Oh.
Carvana
I was going to say, if that's the commercial,
they're liars.
Hire me.
They're liars. Carvana are liars.
Not liars. What are you talking about?
They say the process is stress-free.
It was stress-free.
There was nothing but stress in my life.
Because I told you to do 3 things. Ready? This is what I told him to do. Number 1, know what you're going to buy.
I had no idea.
Maybe I'm wrong by suggesting that that's a good idea to start with, but know what you're going to buy. If you're going to buy a car online, you should go to a dealership. You should test drive the car. You should know what the car is. So, I'm going to pick a random model, a Buick Encore. That
was my first try.
That's your first try, okay? If you're going to buy a Buick Encore, you should know what a Buick Encore is.
Well, okay, to be fair.
Enough.
You watch Letterkenny?
No.
You would love that show.
Probably.
So listen, the Buick Encore, because it's not that I didn't know what I wanted. I had a general
You knew what you wanted.
I wanted the new crossover.
Right.
The not really an SUV, but not really a Honda Civic. Somewhere in between. So that would be the Buick Encore.
You wanted a small
Nissan Rogue.
Right. So you wanted a small hybrid kind of car, a crossover kind of car between a sedan and an SUV, right?
Yeah.
My first piece of advice. Okay, with all-wheel drive.
I needed all-wheel drive.
Somebody who doesn't know how to drive in the snow, right? Yeah. So here's the deal. If you're going to buy a car online, you should, number one, know what you're going to buy. So what I mean by that is, obviously, you know the make and the model that you're going to buy. But what you should do, if we're going to be real, is you should test drive that car. You should know that you like that car in a couple of different ways. You like the size of the car. You like the way that the car feels. You like the way that the car drives. You like it as a general thing. You're comfortable with it. It feels comfortable with you. It matches your style, right? And then there's all the other things that you can see from pictures, right? You can see the way that it looks, the way that it feels. That's close to my mouth. All right.
Well, you were like talking.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
this.
Okay. All right. Fix that.
It was like the top of your girlfriend's head. Like you were laying on it like this. You need to know the style. You need to know the booty. You need to know if it feels like you're driving with.
You know what the best part is? You're still like that. No one can hear you because I can see the microwaves. All right.
Yeah. I know. Well, now
so here's the deal. So you want to know what kind of car it is. You want to know how it drives. You want to be comfortable with that model. You want to have driven that model of car previously, right?
Yes.
Somebody, to remain nameless, didn't do that.
Well, listen, I was taking Juice WRLD's advice where he goes, all girls are the same. You know, he sings that one song where he goes, rest in peace.
Taking Juice WRLD's advice on buying a car.
He goes,
online.
all girls are the same. So I was just like, all cars are the same.
So, number one, I'm going to give you some quick advice. Don't take that advice with cars, and don't take that advice with women, okay? Just as a general rule. You probably don't want to go down that path. All girls are the same. They're not. I mean, there's great variation inside of them.
Yeah.
And outside of them. But basically...
inside and outside.
There's a lot of variation going on. You probably want to figure out which one you want, right? So that's the first thing with buying a car online. You want to be comfortable with the car as a general thing. Because there's obviously when you buy, like, for example, the Buick Encore we're talking about, it's a manufacturer, it's a model. Manufacturer's Buick, the model is the Encore.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then there's different trim levels inside of a car. So
there's
the second thing
there's
that you
the
want
poor person trim. There's the not so poor person.
They don't call it that. They have different names, right?
Oh.
But he's right. That's effectively what's going on.
Yeah.
So what you're going to want to do at that point is you're going to want to look at the car and you're going to start wanting to look at different things. Okay, what's actually included inside of this car? Because a base model version of the car is more than likely going to have cloth seats, one speaker, really four speakers, whatever it is, 4 speakers as opposed to like 16, right? They're going to have a very base
16.
model. Yeah, my car has 16 speakers, right?
16 speakers?
Yeah, my car's nice, dude. Because I did my homework.
Where'd
Thank
you
you,
get
Carvana. So what you do is you then have to look at something called a window sticker, okay? And a window sticker is going to give you every single option, and it's from the manufacturer that's inside of the car.
See, now that's what I...
Somebody else forgot to check that, too.
I
that was my second piece of information. Know what you're buying.
Did you tell me that before or after I bought the
Let's pretend that I didn't tell you, okay?
Because I don't think you told me until after I got the Nissan Rogue, which was my second try.
Yeah. We're going to get there in a hot second. So let's pretend that that's the situation. But you're going to want to know what you're going to buy as a general thing, right? So you want the Encore because you're comfortable with that style of car, right? Then you're going to want the trim level. So there's going to probably... on a normal car, there's between 4 and 5 different types of trim levels, right? Some cars are going to have more, some cars are going to have less. That's reality, right? So
it is what it is.
Exactly. Do you want leather seats? Do you want the speakers? Do you want the Apple CarPlay? Do you want this? Do you want that?
Really, the second trim, not the I can't afford this car trim, but I could probably afford the bottom trim, but I'm gonna get the second one because the second trim they give you everything, and then the third trim and the third and fourth above that, it's really just like leather seats and GPS, which is confusing because the second trim is Apple CarPlay, which basically is GPS. Because you're not going to use the internal GPS.
Well, you're going to get
that's no good.
As you go up trim levels, you get things like speakers, right? You're going to get a better sound system. Especially in like modern cars.
Auto high beams, maybe.
Oh my
remote
God.
start.
Don't get me started on this crap.
You know,
You're going to get things like that as you go up different trim levels.
you open the door and it shines a little light on the ground. Oh, how convenient. Thank you. I kick the ass of my car and the trunk opens. That was extra. That was totally worth the extra $700. You know what I mean?
I mean,
the
you
car kind of drives itself. You know, you take your hands off and it goes beep, 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 beep. Put your hands back on the wheel. But I won't steer you into the, you know, the Mustang right next door, or or in the underbelly of the truck.
All right, so here's my perspective. I feel like you're demeaningly talking about it in a negative style fashion, but then you gave it crap when it didn't have auto headlights.
Let me tell you,
because you didn't read the window sticker.
In 2020, 2020 vision.
Okay.
This is my year.
Okay.
I'm here recording a podcast. Okay. I don't want to be driving a car that goes beep boop. Beep boop, beep boop.
Why is it doing that?
Every time I turn it off to remind me to turn off the headlights. Every time I turn this car off at night with the headlights on, it would go beep boop, beep boop.
Hey, by the way, that's
What?
so you don't drain your battery and it starts the next time you want to go somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But it's a 2018 car. There should be no beep boop.
Oh,
to
you mean
remind
it should
me.
be automatically there?
It should be automatic because it was a 2018 Nissan Rogue. So basically, the problem with the Buick was it was a car with 3 walls.
Okay. 3 walls. Let's hear this.
3 walls.
Let's hear this.
You couldn't see outside of it. You were basically driving and you could only see in front of you. There was a wall to the left, there was a wall to the right, and there was a wall behind you. I didn't think they could make a windowless car, and yet here we are.
So that goes back to my first point. Know what you're buying.
So basically...
Are you denying that I told you that?
I mean, maybe.
Are you going to deny that
But
one?
now I'm blocking
maybe,
the whole
maybe.
Carvana experience out of
my
my
God.
head because it was terrible.
So
and
here's-
I'll get and it wasn't just the cars that were terrible that they were selling. All right, because the Carvana doesn't make the cars, but
They're used.
it was Carvana themselves. So you want to know what would have been easier? If I was financing through Carvana themselves
Yeah.
and getting that 6% APR,
Yeah.
APY,
Yeah.
then I feel like the process would have been easier.
Which is my third point.
But since I was financing...
My third point is understand your financing situation.
But since it was financing through Bank of America, so let me explain how...
So you had different companies talking back and forth to each other that don't care
But
what's
that's
going
the
on.
thing. They don't talk at all.
Yeah.
It was me talking back and forth to each company. I was the middleman. I felt like I was in The Irishman in this 3.5 hour long movie.
Right.
But,
What were you expecting?
So basically what would happen is I would talk to Carvana. They would tell me some information. Then I would go back to the bank, and that information they gave me wasn't enough. So then I needed to call Carvana again, recap the person on the information that I'm lacking for them to maybe give me the right information for me then to go back to my bank. And let me put the icing on top of the cake here, buddy, because I don't even think you know where the hell starts, where it begins. Hell is hot? No. Stanley Kubrick said it's cold, and I believe him. Listen to this. So basically, you need to get an order form from Carvana. Basically a form that says this person is buying this car.
Yeah.
This is the VIN. This is what the car has.
Yeah, the
This is
specific information.
This is the value of the car, and this is how much the person is going to want to take out from you.
Mm-hmm.
So that needs to be right. Multiple times Carvana sent me that form, and it was wrong.
Okay.
So I would get that form. I would give it to Bank of America. They would be like, this form is wrong.
You didn't review it?
I sometimes wouldn't know what was wrong.
Hey, people.
Because it is... I didn't know that was my job. You know?
I didn't know it was my job to check when I'm financing something. I thought everything was good on the paper.
Yeah. You know, like...
It was wrong multiple times, and the bank told me it was wrong.
It was just like one time...
I'm not so good at reading.
Honest to God, though.
Honest to God.
Listen, it just buying a car on the internet just wasn't for me.
Because you can't follow simple directions.
Listen, maybe if I would have bought a car like an HRV or like something that listen, absolutely knew.
Listen, Josh, you ever buy something from IKEA?
Yes.
How'd that go for you?
Twice, a couple times. The furniture lasted for about 12 months and then it broke apart.
Okay. Did you put it together properly?
Yes.
You followed the instructions?
To the T.
So why couldn't you do it with the car? You could do furniture, but not a car.
Because furniture is
I bought a nightstand for $30. Put this $20,000 car. I was like, forget that.
Oh, man.
I just want to hear your perspective.
Let me just tell you, car buying is the worst thing in America. Like, there's a lot of bad things.
Let me tell you how to do it right.
Okay.
Okay. So I understand your perspective, which is somehow negative.
Yeah.
And that's fair. You're allowed to have your own perspective.
I am.
Yeah. So here's how you do it right. What you do is, if you're going to buy something online, the only reason to buy it online is because you're going to get a better deal.
I even got $1,000 off.
Good for you. So here's the deal.
Wait. I didn't even... My last negative comment about Carvana is when you return the car, and when you buy the car, you put a down deposit on the car.
A deposit.
In New Jersey, they won't send you the car unless you have insurance for the car.
That's
everywhere. Like every other state, they're just like, we don't care.
No, that's not true.
No, hold on.
I'm in New York.
Wait.
They won't give me the car unless I have insurance.
Almost every other state, except for like New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and maybe like San Francisco. I know that's not a state, but it's a state of mind. Okay?
That's true.
They won't send you the car unless you have car insurance. All the other states, they're like, we'll send you the car, just have insurance the day it gets there. Like, don't worry about it.
You had to have insurance before they shipped it.
You have to have insurance before because I was in New Jersey. So I was paying for...
No, I'll take that back. New York, I had to have it at delivery. I had to have
they won't even start the delivery process.
Until insurance.
Unless
That's a state law. You can't get mad at that.
Yeah. Well, I can get mad at whatever I want, okay? There's a service called GoodRx, where it's basically like...
It's a prescription company.
Yeah, it's a prescription company.
Prescription drug company.
You can get prescriptions online being like, oh, I get pimples or my hair is falling out. And they're...
What the fuck? Why are you going to say that one?
Well, I'm just saying I'm going to need it soon. So it's like we can just,
It's not a real thing, by the way.
Pay $20 and we'll write you a prescription. And I'm like, cool. So I went to their website and I was filling everything out and they were like, oh, we don't do it for New Jersey.
Yeah, because New Jersey has crazy laws.
Yeah, they were like, you can use the coupon part, but we're not writing you any prescriptions coming soon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So I have to go see a dermatologist because my face gets bumpy every year. And I have to pay this guy to look at my face and go, all right, now you owe me $200. And I was like, all you did was go like this.
Well, you get made a good RX. That's the government.
I'm just telling you.
GoodRx doesn't care.
If you're gonna
GoodRx wants to give you the medication.
I want to give GoodRx $20 so they can give me a pimple medication.
Don't get mad at them. They want you to give them $20 so you can get that.
I want to give them my $20.
But you can't. Why?
Because New Jersey won't let them give me an online prescription.
That's why. Don't get mad at GoodRx. GoodRx doesn't care what you got. You got $20? Beautiful. Here you go. But guess what?
What?
They got a roadblock. And what's that?
New Jersey.
There you go.
So
don't get mad at Carvana for that crap.
I am furious at Carvana. I'm literally furious because it was not an easy process.
It was an easy process.
The only thing that held true...
The only thing that wasn't easy was that you screwed every piece of it up.
The only thing that held true was the 7-day. They did let me return the car... But
all they
wait.
All that Carvana did that made my life easy was that I didn't check anything, and then they gave me all my money back.
But here's the catch: when you return the car to Carvana, when you pay for the car, when you do the deposit, the down payment, they scoop that money right outside of your savings account.
Of course,
they go scoop. digitally.
Yeah, because
do you want to know what they do when you want the money back? They mail you a check. They don't digitally put it back. They mail you a check.
Those 2 days without that money that you weren't going to have anyway. Yikes.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
I was like...
Who could forgive them
I was
giving
like,
you
I'm
every
not gonna...
single penny back?
I told them, I was
you
like...
made an uninformed, ill-willed decision.
I was like, I'm not going to be home for 2 weeks. How am I going to get that money back in my bank account?
Did you bring that car with you when you left for 2 weeks?
No, I flew on a plane.
So you weren't going to have a car anyway.
No, but I need it now. That's how
Why?
I got here. Everyone keeps on asking me, why do you need a car?
No, I'm asking you why you needed the money back that quickly. Because as far as the bank was, not even the bank. I guess the bank.
Because
as well.
I'm broke.
The bank but you didn't need the money because you spent it.
I spent the money. Now I have no money.
So you spent the money. So let me just understand this properly. You bought a car.
Correct.
Especially your situation specifically.
Yes.
You bought a car.
Yes.
Okay. You decided you didn't want that car.
No.
We're going to pretend it was for legitimate reasons and you did all your research ahead of time, right? You decide you don't want that car.
Correct.
You send the car back.
Yes.
You get on a plane.
Okay.
You leave.
Yes.
You don't have the car
No.
because you left on a plane.
Well, when I left on a plane.
Because you left on a plane.
Wait. When I left on a plane, I already had the Honda. I already figured it all out.
Okay.
I had the Honda. I returned the Nissan.
How long was the delay from returning the car to getting the check?
Returning when they took the car away, it took about a week for them to be like, all right.
For them to pay out how much money?
No. It took about a week for them to be like, all right, we got the car back. We filed all the paperwork. We're mailing the check now. So it took about a week and a half to get the money back.
Okay.
But
how much money are we
gone.
talking? Are we talking in excess of $5,000?
I'm talking about less.
Less than 5,000?
Less than 5,000. But keep this in mind. I just put a down payment on the Honda that I got from a dealership.
Okay.
So I put a down payment on the Honda, and then I had a down payment on the Nissan, which was close to $4,000 in purgatory. Just the money just isn't. It's my money, but it's just not in my bank account. So that's why I was so low on funds, and that's why I needed the funds right away, because I literally had the bubble. You know, the more than 80% of America saves, because what is it, $800? 80% of Americans have less than $800 in their bank accounts.
What?
Yeah, did you not know that?
No.
Yeah. It's an insane number. Like, you can Google it. You're the one who has a phone, but like 80% of Americans have like less than.
I'm going to give everybody watching this some advice.
All right, I'm going to Google it.
Save more than $800. There's no excuse for having less than $800.
Keep
I know
going.
12-year-olds with less than $800. I understand if you have bills and a divorce and 7 kids. But if you have 6 kids and a divorce, have $800. Okay? Not the end of the world. You got to figure out something. You're spending money on something that you don't need if you have less than $800. Oh my God, 800. You got to be wrong. No, there's no way 80. I could understand 7 guys have less than $800. 80% of Americans have less than $700. $800. He's still Googling. He's still on Wikipedia.
I have to. No,
Did you donate to Wikipedia? Because I never do, but I use it all the time.
I have to pause. For people who are 34 years and younger, have no children and are single, have $1,350.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry. Singles with children, $1,350. Singles without children, $2,800.
That's it?
Yeah.
You tell me people without kids that are younger than 34 have an average of $2,300.
60% of millennials have less than $1,000 in emergency funds. 60% of millennials. Yeah.
That's on you.
There's a lot of you have to think about it like this.
I'd love to see this explanation. I hope it's not the same as Tarantino.
We live in a different part of America where it's you save your money. We're very obsessed with money. The stock market's right down the street. We're high paced. We're the Northwest. Give it to me. Give it
Northeast.
to me now. Oh yeah, Northeast. Sorry. We're high strung. Screw you. screw that. You know, that doesn't taste good. That pizza place, give me a bagel, you know.
I like how you threw a bagel in there. That makes it distinctively northeast.
Absolutely.
As opposed to northwest.
And you have to, northwest. Absolutely not. And you have to understand that in the Midwest and the West, it's a lot of places.
That's a bunch of BS.
A lot of places out there,
There's some people out there that get paid.
Let me finish. A lot
I'll let
of
you
people
finish your nonsense.
out there, you know, in those one Walmart towns and those small civilizations out there in Idaho, you know, they live by
Idaho.
They live by the fact that you make $1, you spend $1. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
There is no corporate chain. The corporate chain is when my daddy dies, I'll take his tractor. Ugh. You know what I mean?
That's not it.
Yes, it is.
No.
All right, then what is it, Mr. Answers?
I'll give you it. Mr. Answers has
Brosnan,
some answers.
More like the first episode of this podcast was boredom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, interviewer, for asking me such interesting questions.
Well, I couldn't ask you any questions because you were too busy being boring.
The least boring person you know. Get over your high horse, you bum. Go do no research and spend $20,000 on a car. No, go do that. Why don't you go do that?
I'm only in sweatpants because my jeans got wet.
Yeah, because some genius looked at an outside slide that was enclosed.
It was an indoor slide.
Where were the walls? If it was an indoor slide, where were the walls, genius?
It was.
I'm asking you seriously. Where were the walls?
The walls were the tube.
Oh, so it was not indoor.
It was the slide itself was.
The word
covered.
he's looking for that he's not aware of is enclosed, but he's unaware of what that means. Okay.
It was an enclosed.
I'm showing him around my community, which I shouldn't be doing in the first place, but I show him the community with the understanding that he may have some sort of semblance of respect. Some sort of semblance of understanding. Look at this guy. He's choking on himself. He's so full of himself. That's how full of himself. He's choking on himself.
I'm hungry.
Good. I'm glad you're hungry. Screw you. So he's walking around. He's walking outside. He goes out. He goes out there. He sees an indoor slide, which is, by the way, can we take a shot of that and edit that into this right now? I'm going to pause for a second. We're going to get a picture of this indoor slide, and I want you to put that up, Josh.
The slide.
No, I want to pause for the people to see the indoor slide.
All right, here's a picture.
Here's a picture of an indoor slide.
Did
Did anybody notice that it's fucking outside? Did anybody pick up on that shit?
But did anybody?
No, I'm serious. Did anybody pick up on the fact that it's not inside of a house? Did anybody realize that there's no walls around it? Did anybody realize there's no roof? No. I understand it's protected.
It's protected.
It's outside. It is an outside slide.
By the elements.
Okay.
It looked.
That makes you.
When I looked inside, it looked pretty dry. It didn't look dry.
What the hell are you talking about? You got up to the top and looked inside and went like this. You looked inside and went, damn, it looks wet. And I said, you can come down. You said, I'm up here. There's only one way down. I said, that's not accurate. There's two ways down.
It was really, the slide was really high up. And getting,
it's 2 stories out. It's a big kid slide.
And getting up there, I already fell once.
Yeah, because he didn't do another thing I said, which was pay attention and hold on to the rails because children's playground equipment gets slippery. Also,
why would it
you're
get
not
slippery?
Because it's wet, you idiot.
I know, but it's made for children, so it should.
Kids aren't supposed to play on paper.
Wet, cold, dry, hot. It should never be slippery. Never.
This is the guy that's complaining about the car on Carvana. Carvana, if anybody gives you crap about buying a car and you want to point to somebody that doesn't understand what the hell they're talking about, play this clip of him sitting there saying, playground equipment should never get slippery.
Unless you want kids to get hurt, I don't think. I don't.
Carvana wants kids to get hurt. That's the message from Josh. Look at him cough his way out of this. God damn it! Listen, you go out on playground equipment. It's all metal and Trex. Okay. What happens when metal gets wet? It gets slippery.
Then why don't they make it out of something that isn't slippery?
What do you suggest?
I don't know.
What do you suggest, Mr. Scientist?
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm serious. You have any thoughts on this, Mr. Scientist?
Carpet?
Bill Nye the Science Guy over here wants a playground equipment made out of carpets because he thinks that will hold well for more than one day. In all fairness, it is an inside playground that has no walls or roof on it. So you know that the carpet's going to hold up really well.
I could guess the kids could get carpet burn, you know?
Oh, they could get carpet burn.
I feel like, first of all, if we're looking at the logistics of it, carpet burn would be big league, big time, you know?
I'm going to pretend that I understood that.
Like, that would be the first problem that came to mind.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that the first potential issue was that kids with carpet could get carpet burn.
Yeah, if the playground was made out of carpet, they could get carpet burn. I would say
I agree,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the first. Like, kind of like a hybrid of, like, a real carpet and what they use for, like, miniature golf courses. Because those.
You mean turf? So you want a hybrid of turf carpet?
Yeah. Something that's kind of, like, soft, so, like, the kids fall.
So you want a slide made out of turf carpet, and that's going to hold its form?
The slides can still be sliding material. You know?
I think you mean plastic. I'm pretty sure the term you're going for is plastic, not slidey material.
You know. Well, when I went down, it was real slippery.
Okay, that's plastic and water.
Is that what it is?
You ever seen it before? You ever gotten down? I mean, it's commonly referred to as a water slide.
Yo, when I go down water slides at water parks, I stand up. You're like, sit down. And I'm like, nope. No, thank you. I'm going to stand.
Even when I'm standing, I still fit inside the rails.
Dude, so like when you graduated high school, did your high school do this like goodbye like activity like?
You mean prom?
No. Like after prom, like high school, like you guys graduate, and the night of graduation, you all go somewhere like David Buster's.
Oh no, we didn't do that.
So we did that, and my sister did that, and I went with them because of course I did.
You went with your sister's class?
Yeah, as a chaperone, right?
Because you were 19 at the time?
No, it was like this year or last year when she graduated high school.
Your sister's that much younger than you?
Yeah, she's a freshman in college. Yeah, she was a oopsie baby. Like, my parents were going to have friends over one night, and then they canceled, so then they did the deed. And then...
Did they tell you this? They told you this?
I mean, not in detail. You know, a man should never air out his dirty laundry. But let's just say there was a vasectomy for a woman scheduled. And
she was your mom?
She was scheduled.
All right. I like how you got this all medically incorrect. Yeah. So essentially, your mom is at the point where she's supposed to get her tubes tied.
Correct.
And her husband, your father, turned around and was like, "That's tomorrow's problem."
No. So she was supposed to tie the tubes, but then my dad's friends came into town. Sorry.
Are you sure she's your full sister?
No. So the tubes were supposed to be tied on the day my dad's friends surprise popped into town. So because my dad's
language you're using is so poor. Keep going.
Because my dad's friends popped into town.
Keep saying popped into town.
My mom couldn't get tied off because she needs to cook. You know, she needs to cook.
What?
It's like
she couldn't get tied down?
You couldn't get tied off.
Oh, okay. Tied off. Excuse me.
You need to cook, pasta for my friends. They're coming into town. I didn't know they were coming.
How many euphemisms can you use about your mother? Keep going. In the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah, so here she is. She goes, all right, I guess this isn't happening today. I guess I got to make red sauce for pasta.
You're telling me that your mother sat there and rescheduled a major surgery because she wanted to cook pasta for friends?
She didn't want to. My dad said, my friends are coming over. You have to. She didn't have an option.
Hold on a second. She scheduled for real, genuine surgery.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is your dad turns around and says, no, what I want
is for
you to make pasta.
Yes.
I'm okay with accidentally having a third child. But at the cost of pasta for like two friends that I'm kind of okay with. That's what you're telling me. That's what happened.
Exactly. So she didn't get her tubes tied, and
there's no way she delayed general surgery.
That's what happened. You can ask her.
Have her on the podcast. Dial in.
I can't. My phone's recording now.
Ugh.
Yep, that's the bummer of having cameras that can't record longer than 10 minutes or else they get too hot, which hasn't happened before. I think it's a bad omen for this place.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
That's what's going on. Anyway, she didn't have her tubes tied. My parents did the dirty.
Because of pasta.
Because of pasta. My
So I
parents
had a whole
My
third
parents
child.
did the dirty before the next tube tied appointment. And bada bing, bada boom. She was pregnant. Sophie was born. She's the oopsie baby. She knows.
Didn't I meet her?
Yeah.
We met her one time, right?
Probably.
She seemed cool.
Maybe more than once.
Where we meet at the pool?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
She
her.
lives by the pool, dude. She lives in Florida. People don't wear clothes in Florida. Clothes are optional in Florida.
Thank God we're in Connecticut.
Like, people go to work in shorts down there.
Well, it's hot.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
This guy.
There's this.
There's no way.
There's this.
I'll get past it and we'll pretend it's acceptable, but there's no way your mother was going to major surgery and he's like, oh, I'm having friends over tonight. How did he schedule?
Give me your phone.
I'll
call her right now.
No, hold on.
I'll call her.
You're
at
telling me
12
that your dad
o'clock
was like, my wife is undergoing major surgery. She should be out of that by 3, which means she can have dinner ready by 6.
Well, apparently
she can cook pasta by 6. Yeah,
Well,
6:37. Let's say 7.
Pasta's
Let's
an
say 10
all-day-
o'clock at night. She's been out of surgery for 7 hours. This bitch
clearly-
better be making me pasta.
You've clearly never cooked pasta sauce because that is an all-day activity. Okay, you start at 9 in the morning.
Thank you. All you're doing is prove my point. Your dad turned around and was like, what time do you start in the morning?
You start at 9 in the morning.
You start at 9 in the morning. And what time was your mother scheduled for surgery?
And you serve the pasta at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so 9 to 5. So this is a 6. No, hang on. 8 hours, right? 9 to 5.
The pasta
It's an
sauce
8-hour
needs to
activity.
simmer.
What time was your mother's surgery?
I don't remember. I was young.
Okay.
I was like 13.
Let's assume that her major surgery started at 7 o'clock in the morning. He was like, bitch, you better be out of that at home and cooking by 9 a.m. That's a work truck out there.
Oh. I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, because they work at midnight here.
I keep
I
coughing.
don't understand that. I'm giving up on this. We're gonna pretend that that's a normal request. Everything makes sense.
Call my mother right now.
I'm not calling you. What time is it? I'm not calling your mom at midnight on Saturday.
Why do you have a Tinder match on your phone? I see you got a new match on Tinder.
That's an Instagram notification from a coworker.
Oh. I was gonna say you have a girlfriend, right?
The Tinder matches are on a different phone.
Jill? Right?
Who's Jill? My girlfriend? That's the one that lives with me anyway.
I think her name is Jill.
That's one of them. That's one of them.
It's one of them? I don't know.
I think that's Tuesday.
So how long have you been with her for?
That's been a long time.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
You used to have muscles.
That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
That was 2011.
You guys been together 9 years?
Yeah, closer to 8.5. But
8.5?
Yeah.
Are you going to do something special for the big 1-0? Take her
10?
to Hawaii?
The next year and a half.
Yeah.
I've actually brought her on a couple nice vacations. We went to Asia twice.
Asia?
Yeah. I mean, back when we first started dating, I was 18. So, believe it or not, I wasn't Mr. Moneybags back then.
But she stuck with you through thick and thin.
Yeah.
Have you guys been through any like tough periods?
I don't think so.
Was there like that one time?
At least not for me. For her, I'm sure she's been through a million tough times.
there was that one time.
She's like, there was that time he started getting fat. Then there was that time when he started like really losing that tone. Then he started balding. Meanwhile, she's been pretty consistent the whole way through. Not really that tough for me. Dude. I mean, for her, she's been through hell. Oh, my God. She's like that time he had a job that was insane and he worked like 18 hours a day. Most of the time, she's been reasonable and level-headed and normal. I guess I should bash on her a little. I don't know. Let me think about something she did wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of one thing she's done right. I like barely know this person.
I know. I'm so glad he's sleeping at our house tonight. I'm gonna let her know that he said that and see if he has to sleep in his fucking HRV from a dealership.
She's so nice. No, I love her. I really like.
I don't know how I lucked out.
She's so nice to me. She's like, John, I feel like it's. I feel it. I think it's.
Do you know that birthday cake we got for you for your birthday?
Yeah. What about
She
it?
suggested that, and I said, "Fuck Josh." I said, that Entenmann's cake costs $6. I like him $3.
Yeah, right?
I said, let's get him an apple and tell him to go fuck himself. And she said, no, I'll pay for it. And I said, let's be real. No one likes Josh that much. Okay.
Yeah, nobody.
I'm aware he's driving 2 hours to come see me, and no one likes him that much.
Nobody. No.
Nobody. $6? Who's got $6 lying around?
I think it was great.
For Josh? Come on.
I think it was great when she said, John, I love it that you spend time with your friends on the spectrum. That was probably the nicest thing she's ever said to
That's
me.
what we're doing right now.
Right? She was like, I think it's great that you take your time out of your busy schedule to hang out with the less fortunate.
Yeah. You're welcome, Josh.
So, wow, dude, 8.5 years, dude. I can't even, like, commit to a cell phone for that long, let alone a human being.
Yeah.
That's
Cell phones are more
crazy.
important, I think.
Yeah.
That plan's expensive.
Yeah, you can always upgrade.
People are
the
more
cell
expensive, though.
phone. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing more expensive than a human being. That's why I'll never have kids. Are you guys thinking about kids?
Not in a positive fashion.
No.
No.
Just kind of like, ugh, I feel like we have to do
She wants a
this.
dog.
Oof. Dog in that house?
Not
Dog's
that
going
house.
to rip that house apart,
That's
dude.
a brand new house, man.
Yeah, you got those hardwood floors.
Yeah, you don't
Picture a
have
dog running, scratching those hardwood floors with its nails. Dogs, like, let me just
This is
tell
what I'm picturing right after that.
Damn.
Boom.
Let me just tell you, like,
I don't understand how people do dogs.
I love dogs. Like,
I like dogs too.
when this podcast becomes successful, the first thing I'm branching off besides merchandise is going to be a rescue farm for dogs. Like,
Nice.
just 20 dogs.
Yeah.
And, like, people can come to the farm and, like, adopt the dog.
Yeah.
Of course, they'll need to do a background check. We don't want any Vicks, you know.
Mike Vicks.
No Vicks.
That makes sense.
No thank
Luckily, I don't think you'll have to worry about that because you said when it becomes successful. So basically, my
The farm
understanding-
or the podcast?
Yeah, who cares? Either
Yeah,
or, right?
That's true.
Essentially, yeah, 8.5 years is a long time with somebody, but you know, I got lucky, and I'm gonna pretend that she did too. That we jive very well, right? We just ended up being the right people at the right time and the right place.
Where does she work?
She works at a media company.
Media?
Yeah, she does media.
Like what I do?
No, she's in real media.
Real media?
Yeah, she works for a newspaper. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Newspaper.
Yeah, she works for a newspaper. She does a lot of. She has a really unique, incredible skill set. She's super organized, which is just not me, right?
Yeah.
She has a great ability to like focus and really get things done.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like she understands that there's a mission involved, and she'll sit down and she'll actually care about it.
Yeah, she cares
example,
about
last
the
night-
journey, getting from.
Yeah,
point
no,
A to
she
point
actually
B.
cares about the mission that she's involved in, right? That's an incredible thing to be a part of. You know, she sits down like last night, like I was saying. She 8 o'clock. I'm like, 8 o'clock at night last night on Friday night. I go, how much long? She goes 40 minutes. I go, okay, 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
She's gonna be done by 8:40. That's how the timeline works typically.
Yeah.
She wasn't done till 11:40
Ah.
at night on a Friday night. You're not done till work 11:40 on a
You
Friday
want to
night.
go out? You want to drink? You want to show
killing me.
her off?
Yeah.
I can imagine you just taking her to bars and be like, "Look what I have.
Yeah.
Look what I have, and you don't got this."
I mean, it's not the exact
And she's
song,
just
but yeah.
dancing like this.
We're gonna take a quick pause as the alarm has gone off.
Is somebody trying to break into our podcast session?
Did we set this off? I did close at 11.
Well, it is 12.
We should wrap this up. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Well, Brosnan,
This has been the Tall and Small podcast. The police are on their way.
It's not the tall and small. It's the
Small and tall.
tall.
It doesn't matter. We need to wrap this up because I live here, and I'm not prepared to have the whole police come here because we're here. I'm serious. We have to wrap this up right now.
All right.
Goodbye. Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
We set off the fucking alarm. Like, we need to go.
Indoor slide, ladies and gentlemen. And then there's the freaking puddle right there.